So light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up, I'm on fire.
Hey everybody, so episode 17 of Teen Wolf Season 3 just aired, and I have to say, it was so painful to watch. So, a lot of things happen in this episode, and one specific character was missing from the entire episode. I guess I don't know why Lydia wasn't in the episode, they just chose not to have her in it. But let me try and sum up everything that happened, because a lot happened. A lot and not too much. I don't know how to explain it I don't know. It wasn't like a little or too much that happened, but there's a lot to explain that happened, and a lot of information we learn in this episode. Let's start off at the beginning. Kira asks Scott to transform for him, and she like kind of marvels. I got a distinct Vampire Diaries season 1 feeling from Stefan and Elena. In this scene, if y'all watch the Vampire Diaries, you'll know what I mean when she kind of like grabs his face and he's like vamped out or whatever. Well, it's kind of the exact same scene, but it was a sweet scene, and I'm really loving Kira and Scott together. Some more stuff with Kira this episode. They talk more about the Kitsune and everybody pretty much in the pack or whatever, almost in the pack, find out that she's a Kitsune. Styles is seriously for reals losing his mind. And I'll touch back on that in a minute. We find out more about those dark spirits, the demonic spirits, cleverly referred to as the demonic ninjas by the twins, which they said, I don't even know how many times they said demonic ninjas, but it was so funny. The twins try and protect Scott throughout the day. They follow him around, and also Scott ends up ditching them. But anyways, and he finds out later on that Derek's been following him around all day. So it's like Coddle Scott Day. I mean, I don't know. It's a cute thing. Scott's getting all this, everybody following around, and Styles is just losing it. For real. He tries to show Scott the key and all this stuff, and apparently the key and all the stuff written on the chalkboard that he wrote is missing. It's been erased. The key, it's just all gone. And so Scott just tells him that he thinks Styles needs to get some sleep. Styles goes to the hospital, and Melissa McCall starts trying to help him out, and she like finds the symptoms and all stuff. She gives him a sedative. She says he just needs to sleep. But then she goes and pulls his mother's record, and like she starts comparing things. So I'm thinking, oh well, maybe something's wrong with him just physically, like with his mother. But that's not. I don't think that's it. And it's just it's all. I wish it was not what it is. What's going on with him? It's just killing me. It hurts. It's painful. Me and a bunch of my friends are like freaking out last night about all that. So we see a young Chris Argent also in the episode, and we find out how he had an encounter with the demonic ninjas, and it was when he was like 18 years old. I think it was 18 years old. It was like 24 years prior, and he was like in Japan or something. Well, he ends up shooting one of them in the face, and he saves one of the guys' lives and all this stuff. And they go and try and find this man. This man is like a recluse, and he doesn't like to get around anybody. Heavy security all around his estate. So it's widely known that Katashi collects rare antique weapons. So Chris Argent, Mr. Argent, goes and like sets up a deal to sell something to him so he can get into his estate and talk to him and get everything, all the information he needs. So we get Mr. Argent gets Isaac to go in and like negotiate the deal and all this, and it's so funny because he's like so nervous at first, and Allison ends up we finally get an Isaac and Allison kiss, and it's very steamy, and I just loved it because afterwards when he walks in, he has sunglasses on, he's just in the afterglow, and it's just the funniest, cutest thing. Find out Katashi has a werewolf too working for him, and they find out it's kind of like a big fight, and then Katashi figures out who Mr. Argent is, and he's like all thankful because Mr. Argent actually saved his honor in a way, and I'm not going to go into detail about all that, but he gives him all the information about what the demonic spirits want. Basically, they're called the Oni, and they test supernaturals to make sure they're still themselves. When the mark that they've been leaving, it's a Japanese kanji symbol for self, because back when Chris had first encountered them, that one of the people in this among them, they had he was possessed by a no kitsune. It's a dark kitsune known as Void. So basically Allison relays all the information to Scott, and long story short, Scott and Kira, when the Oni break through, they let them test them, and they figure out that they are still themselves. So, but the biggest painful, just the most painful moment of the episode was when we see that Styles is the one that is possessed. I mean, that's what we see. That's what it seems like, and it's not good. The Oni go into the hospital, and they surround Styles, and right when they go to test him, he grabs an arm, and he like looks like he doesn't realize what he's doing at first, and then he like gets like a possessed look. Then he punches his arm into like the heart, like the inside of one of the Oni, and pulls out a firefly, and it like dissolves, and the other ones just kind of fly at him. And that was that. And then so Scott, when they finally get, one thing I forgot to mention, Scott's dad figured out Kira and Scott, broke into his office and all that stuff. And so when the Oni show up, he approaches them and he gets stabbed. So basically, this is what brings Scott to the hospital, and they're trying to get his dad better and save his life. Another thing also is when Scott's dad thinks he's dying, he tries to get Scott's mom to get Scott so he can tell Scott whatever the big secret is that he's keeping and doesn't want anybody to know. Anyways, back at the hospital, when Scott and Styles finally meet back up, Styles is acting normal again, like he's not possessed or whatever, and I am basically crying in a corner. That's how painful this episode has been for me. All I have to say is, Jeff Davis, you better not be killing Styles off, because you will kill the show, because, well, I think you know that. I do not think Styles will get killed off. Somehow, he will be made better, made well again, whole, funny, quirky, not dark and evil, possessed Styles, because they're saying that you have to destroy the person or whatever to get rid of the dark kitsune. Styles will not be destroyed. This is not the Styles you're looking for. Sorry. I can't have Styles go away. Never. No. Never. I hope y'all enjoyed this recap and review. Continue to comment, like, and subscribe, and have a great night. Bye.